I'm Matthias Beier, Associate Professor of Pastoral Theology and Mental Health Counseling. I'm also directing the Master's Program in Clinical Mental Health Counseling here at CTS. I've been here since 2009. I love teaching because teaching is an encounter. And the way I think of teaching is that it is, for me as a teacher, basically facilitating, bringing out what a student is capable of. To both learn skills, but really to experience a formation of the self and of relational capacities. So I don't think of teaching just as a cognitive exercise. I think of teaching as involving the whole person. So I think the academy has an important role to give critical reflection on our experiences and to kind of put the claims we might make about our experiences in perspective. And the academy can help prevent us from imposing our views on others and from disregarding the subjectivity of each person. The church, in my view, holds the soul. So from my perspective, the church, when I talk about the soul, the church talks about things that the academy really can't talk about. The academy can provide critical reflection, it can kind of explore, it can construct, but the whole question of meaning, of kind of an existential meaning, is really not something that the academy can provide. And so the church holds us close to the experience of an encounter that gives us a sense of absolute significance. A lot of my work has focused on developing an approach that helps us distinguish between when faith is healing and liberating and when faith is toxic and oppressive. And I think, especially in the church, we have had a lot of experience where we know that the way we approached faith or the way we talked about God was misused. Sometimes we have misused it ourselves. And so I am particularly interested in how can we develop criteria that help us distinguish between healing and liberating faith and toxic and oppressive faith. I have written a book on this that engages how theology might often unintentionally contribute to this kind of internalized oppression. And the book is called A Violent God Image, where I look at how do violent God images work, and how might they work for different people. And so I want to find a way to develop a God without fear, a God that does not make people afraid of themselves or of others, but brings us together and that really facilitates the experience of love. So that's the kind of work I'm interested in. I believe that that's the heart of the mission of the church. And so I want to bring the therapeutic approach into that. So what I think makes CTS distinctive is that we take the whole person very seriously, and that we see your journey coming here to seminary as a journey of growth for you. That's how we are distinctive. And but I want to add to that, we have a lot of expertise in facilitating that process. And I think CTS is somewhat distinctive in having two very thriving counseling programs. And the counseling faculty also teach MDiv students. So that's what I think you can get here, and you can learn how to grow in faith. And you know, growing in faith is not something that is like a linear approach. To grow in faith, you also learn how to question some things that you even might have questioned yourself, but you didn't have a community where you felt comfortable doing that. And here you have the space to explore. And that's a wonderful space to be in. And your faculty are mentors, and your students are peers, and to help you along in that process. And to form lasting relationships is also something I think that characterizes CTS. I am especially happy that our school has these thriving counseling programs, and we are pretty unique in terms of liberal Christian seminaries or progressive Christian seminaries to have maintained our counseling programs. Many other schools have closed them, but we have maintained them because we bring the therapeutic and the social and the theological, the spiritual together. One of the things I also love about CTS and about the counseling programs is we have all kinds of people in terms of demographics, whether in terms of racial, ethnic background, but also in terms of faith background. We have people that are Pentecostal, that are mainstream, that are African Methodist, Episcopal. We have so many different groups here, but we also have agnostics and atheists in the counseling programs.